Hey guys, Neopalm here, and today I'll be showing you my Minecraft city-state project video. Basically, I've been working on it on and off since 2011 or so, and today I'm finally going to show you what I've done so far. I've taken large breaks in between, like here and then, and just so, like, it's not a lot of work, but it's almost everything is done by hand, and I'm pretty proud of what I've created here, and I'm not even halfway done, so there's a lot to be done, and I can't wait for you guys to see it. So let's get going. So right now what we're seeing on screen is this is just a basic lighthouse that I've built. Nothing too special. I have plans to rework it eventually, but let's just go into the city now. And as you can see here, these are the walls. The entire city, not the entire, but it's a part of the city has walls around. There are plans to encircle the entire city, and this is one of the entrances. This is the water entrance. There's another one over land, which is a bit more defendable, let's say. So here is a customs office, so to say. Back then I created some of these switches and these barriers here connected with redstone to kind of prevent people from entering very easily here. I mean, it's not a very strong deterrent, so it doesn't really work that well, but still. On the other hand, here we have this is the lower city, I call it. This is a gentrified area of sorts where people who don't want to live in the upper city they could live here. So these are just some of the buildings I plan to build here. Very small, very cozy places, as you can see here. Some of them, this one isn't finished yet, but this one is. This is like a hardware, not a hardware, it's like a tech store, and the back area has 2 apartments. Very nicely decorated, if I do say so myself, because after all I did decorate them. Then we're moving on to this Crazy Dips Cafe. All the names in the game are invented by myself so as to avoid copyright claims, but you never know nowadays. Anyway, it's a very simple cafe, nothing special about it. This building here is empty right now. When I had a certain mod, it used to be a power plant, but now I intend to transform it into a train station. So this here is going to be a park of sorts, and this here is going to be a continuation of the area, but right now it's just a farm, and these outer lands have not been worked on yet. It's still, there's complete darkness, and this farm even may get torn down to make way for some more regular buildings, and all of this here will be probably some suburban area. This TNT has been here for like 7 years or so. I don't know what to do about it, to be honest, but I'm not gonna blow it up because it's almost full with TNT. So this is the land entrance. As you can see, the main gate isn't finished yet, really, but everything else kind of is. There's a nice entrance. There's the approach it looks pretty nice in my opinion. It's pretty safe as well. So these are all the other lands. Eventually I will encircle this with walls like I did with the other areas, but right now it is what it is. And this is the Grand Hotel. I had it like this, empty, for a long time. Then I started working on it again. I downloaded the main, let's say, shell off the internet, and then I started decorating the interior myself. So right now we're looking at my first house. This is what started it all. And yeah, this is my first house. Like I said, this started the entire project. I didn't have it in mind when I started building here. I was in survival, and I didn't even think I could build anything beyond this simple house. And then I started, I should build a second floor. Then I should make, a strong shell. I mean, an outside wall of stone, so as to prevent burning it down by accident and everything. And this here is a trap zone. It's blown to bits by dynamite, as you can see here. This used to be like an observer chamber, but basically the idea is there's a hole in front of the house, as you've seen that water, and once you go there, it's, you know, as you can see, it's held up by 4 signs, and if you fall through, you fall straight into dynamite. You'd fall on pressure plates, which would activate the dynamite, but I was too lazy to rebuild it again and again because I kept falling down. So yeah, this is the second floor of the house. Very, very simple stuff. This was about the scope of my engineering ability and architectural ability at the time. But you know, you work and you learn something new, bit by bit, day by day. This is the port. So back when it was built, the glowstone wasn't the thing. I had to use these jack-o'-lantern. Or I think glowstone wasn't the thing. And then this cobblestone thing was supposed to be a sort of a train railway towards the other house, but then I figured, you know, screw it, I'll just build a walkway, not a railway. So this is the second house, the cube, as I call it. And this is the third house made out of bedrock. I think I started using creative mode already at this point. So yeah, it is supposed to be like a last resort type of thing. So you can hide here, no one can harm you, but since it has a trap door, which is very easily openable, I don't think it would work out. Then what do we have here? So this is the let me think of the name. Honest Citizen Warehouse Corp. Yeah, this is the name comes from Sims 3. It's just a warehouse. I filled it up with workbenches and chests, so as to make it look a bit more legit. This is just a small port which will be expanded eventually, and this is the marketplace, which is due to be torn down and lowered to the sea level. I don't know if I'll do it soon, actually, I'm not sure, but that's the idea for now. And this is the Gotham Tower, as I call it. This is the main hub of the city. It goes from the sea level to all the way up there to the top of the city, and it's filled with these random small rooms. Like this is supposed to be a hospital somehow. Then we have TNT testing zone. Yeah, very, very interesting stuff. I don't know why I put that there. It's just a liability since we're underwater right now, and all this dynamite blowing up would hurt the building severely, but you know, who knows. So as you can see, there's a water window, and at this point I was very interested in Rapture from BioShock. That's where the underwater inspiration came from. So if I also added a natural dome of sorts. That's what I call it, at least. It's a home for a few animals and some trees and stuff. You'll see it in a second. Very simple stuff, but it's kind of interesting, you know, having this underground. It's kind of cool to me. And yeah, but like I said, very simple stuff. Now as we go up, you'll see some more floors. Very simple design and layouts. So this is a hotel which has two like 3x2 rooms, and that's it. I don't know who would live here, but at that time I thought this was very, you know, interesting and unique. I'm surprised I didn't put a bed under the stairs. So this is a bank, again very small, but this at least makes some sense, you know. You could do something with a bank like of this size. Then this is a cafe. I don't know what kind of cafe goes from street level to cafe to bank. Never been to such a place, but hey, this is my world, so I guess anything goes. And here we're finally in the upper city. This is the old town, so to speak. These are the first buildings that I actually built in this old town. So this is the nightclub. At the time, I built it with redstone torches because I wanted that moody lighting. And this is a later addition, the dance floor itself. It's powered by, as you can see, there's a bunch of redstone torches, so you can turn them on, and they're gonna flash, and it gives off a very epileptic feeling, so to say. These are just some small apartments, very barren. Because back then you didn't even have many options to decorate your apartment with, and I just chose to leave it like that. And that was the police station. Very, very small stuff. This is one of these back roads. I like those things. I love having, multiple entrances to one building, and it gives you options to, escape and such. This is a Bank of Gotham, I think. Yeah, very simple stuff. But this is like a glass walkway, which I was extremely proud of back then. I thought it would look super cool, and it kind of did. Like, in hindsight, yeah, it does look cool still. It's very small, but, makes you're able to look outside and below you and above you. Then what else do we have here? This is a small garden beneath it. So yeah, this is the police station, like I said. Small stuff, it could fit one prisoner, but why would someone be imprisoned there is beyond me. So this is a connection between the first house and the upper city. As you can see, this is the main house station. Then we have the cube station on the other side. Yeah, right here. There's some other stations. There's like the main Gotham station, which is right below the main tower. There are plans to increase the number of stations and increase the coverage of these trains, but all in due time. I need to connect the lower city with the upper city properly first before I implement some wild train rides to this. So this is the upper part of the tower. It's mostly stairwells. There's only one thing of note, which is this apartment, which used to be my apartment back then. It kind of sucks, to be honest, but it is what it is. I built it back then. I couldn't do any better. So, and I thought it looked super cool, And these holes in the wall used to be from some mod which had like power cables and everything, so you could have computers and whatnot. And this blue shulker box used to be a computer in which you had to type in a password to enter. Pretty interesting stuff. And here we finally get to the part. This is the final part. Everything above it is unfinished yet so far. And what do we have? Yeah, you can't go through there. So yeah, there are plans, as you can see, to increase the size of the building. And these are the upper walkways, which again connect the main house, the tower, and the cube. They're also supposed to be, reworked a bit, but that's on a low priority list. Now this here is supposed to be like a city library or city town hall. I'm not sure which, but I do have like a colonial building type thing in mind. Something like the Hong Kong, Parliament building or something like that is what I had in mind for it. And back in the background there, you can see the poor sanctioned off part of town, which I'll get to later. So what else do we have here? This is the cube. This is the only building designed by my friends so far. It used to be a much smaller hotel, and in a quite different color. Then he reworked it and made it much better, in my opinion. So we have a Coke machine, a Pepsi machine here. Reception. He uses much more colors than I do, and it makes his building is much more interesting, as you can see here. This is a very multi-purpose building. It has rooms to rent. At the time of the recording, they were empty. They're furnished now, but it has like I said, it has hotel rooms, it has offices, it has a dance floor, it has a sauna, it has a roof terrace. Has a pool, outdoor pool. I don't know what else does it. The better question is, what doesn't it have? And the upper part is just mind blowing to me, at least. Very good looking, as you can see here. Just check it out. It's like an oasis in the middle of a bustling city, and I just love it so much. So his idea was to put these end rods and then put white pressure plates on top of them, which I love. It's an amazing idea, and I will steal it in the future. So, and this window here, this one block wide window pane is an amazing idea. It's very cyberpunky, and that reminds me it looks like something from Akira that is getting used in my future projects as well. So this is never mind. This is the only right now the only legit, so to say, apartment building in this whole upper city. This is a bar underneath it. I think it's called the Skeleton's Head. I was supposed to, but the sign is good around. Anyway, this apartment building, it's very simple, very suburbanish, so to say. Has like 5 apartments all in all. They're all quite similar, and not much is to be seen there. As you can see, right now I'm trying to find my way around, trying to enter the walkway towards that apartment building. So like I said, apartment building, very simple stuff, nothing too wild. Small apartments, 1-room apartments. There's one which has 2 rooms, I think, and that's about it. And yeah, very simple stuff. At the time, I was still trying to learn how to decorate building interiors. I mean, I'm still learning, but back then I was very new at it. This was like 2012 or so, 2013 at the latest. And I thought, putting different color carpets in each room was an amazing idea. And this is the only 2-room apartment, and it is very, very painfully simple apartment. But you have to start somewhere, I guess. And there's a sort of a upstairs exit here. Is like a fire escape, not a fire escape, but an emergency exit to the roof. You can't enter from the roof, but you can exit to the roof. What else is there? This is Jerry's Arcade. These arcade machines got ruined, but all of them have unique names. Again, this is all designed by me. I've taken inspirations from different places, but as you can see here, there's Bowl of Doom, which is like Blood Bowl, I guess. El Paso Shooter, Polybius, of course, Creeper Camping, I don't know what it is. But yeah, this is just a simple arcade building. This is a general store, which is going to get reworked a bit. I need to add some more, store shelves and everything. But it's very small, so I don't know how I'll pull it off. This building and the building right next to it, this bakery, used to be so full of villagers that I spawned. At one point, I spawned like 200 villagers, and they would all flock into these 2 buildings, and they would clip through the floor. They would fall down into the water. They would like slow down my game immensely, and I had to kill them all. Had to cull them at one point. It was gruesome, but you had to do what you got to do. So this is the main city bank. As you can see, this is a much more serious endeavor here, and has a separate withdrawals deposits thing. Has a very impressive, in my opinion, bank vault, which we're getting to right now. It has multiple, you see, layers. It's pretty big, and it's still empty, but eventually, there'll be stuff to put in. And yeah, very safe place to hide anything of value in this city. So on the other end, we have the entrance to the upper management offices. I didn't plan this building very well, so that's why the lower manager, I mean the the floor workers can enter from the ground, from street level, and these guys have to fly up and then go into their offices. These are just two. There's two smaller offices and the main one. They're all, they have a very liberal use of vines here, but that is what I like. What else is there? Yeah, this is the main office right here. Pretty big stuff, nothing too crazy really. This is supposed to be a computer, but the picture fell out, so it doesn't look like a computer anymore. Anyway, the main office is very looks very nice. It's has a very luxurious feel to it. The entire bank does, kind of, unlike those other banks in the Gotham Tower and the Old Town. So this is just an office building of sorts. I didn't have any special idea for what business it would conduct, but yeah, we have bathrooms here. Yeah, the first floor has cubicles here. It's very simple stuff, and as you go up, the luxury of the offices becomes a bit more evident. This place is a bit more spacious, I think. At least the cubicles are. They have a bit more decoration on them. By decoration, I mean there's either a cactus or head of one of these bee creatures. So this is like the middle management. As you can see, they have very nice offices here. And because of the way I designed the building, I couldn't put different floors on different floors and different roofs on different, because if I put a different floor in this, it will be a roof for the guys below, and it wouldn't fit the overall look of the lower floor. That's why I nowadays always build like a double 2-block wide floors, so that one can serve as a roof for the lower floor and the other one can be just a regular floor. Or if you want to put glowstone, it's not visible by the upper floor. This is upper management here. As you can see, these guys have very nice offices, quite bigger than the other ones, but still nothing too crazy. And then I think there's only one left. This is like the CEO office. This is secretary's desk, and this is the CEO. As you can see, not much is different from the upper management, despite one key difference, which is he has an access to the roof, and there's a hidden chest here which is supposed to hold like armor and weapons, and this person can go out and, I don't know, fight crime or whatever he or she wants to do. So basically this is like a bootleg or discount Empire State Building or Chrysler Building, I don't know which one. Then what else do we have here? We're moving on to this is the Fuji company. This is their warehouse. It's been changed a bit. This area has been changed a bit recently. It's going to be in the follow-up video to this. So as you can see, it's it's filled with chests. Back then, when I used mods, there was a mod which allowed me to transport food and other stuff from the lower city to here. They were connected. That farm was connected to these chests, and it would transfer food into the warehouse, which was very nice. It was intended to have, like, each floor was supposed to be for something else. And this is the main floor, the ground floor of the Fuji company. This L is the initials of my friend who was supposed to own the Fuji company, but he never started playing on this server. But hopefully he will eventually, but it's been 6 or 7 years since I built this, and he still hasn't, so I doubt it's gonna happen. So this is supposed to be a mall of sorts. it was reconstructed a bit. It was the overall look was changed. It's not finished yet, so when I finish it, I will do a follow-up on it. I like the open floor. It's like a strip mall with not a strip mall, but basically like a strip mall, indoor, outdoor strip mall, so to say. The upper floors contain Fuji Company's actual office floors. This is supposed to be an art gallery of sorts, and these are the offices. I mean, they will be offices once I finish them, which I don't think I will anytime soon because it's a lot of work and it's not high on the priority list right now. So this here is it's a very nice place. It's an outdoor thing. So again, this is one of those viewpoints from you can look around the city from here. All of this has been redesigned already. I removed this apartment here. It used to be like my safe spot. I don't know why I was so concerned with my own safety. I was playing single player. Like no one could have touched me here. Anyway, no one could have touched me in my first house, let alone this here. But anyway, yeah, I built this up here so I can sleep peacefully away from all those mobs. This here, there was a little, there's like a little dorm room, which is supposed to be like a dorm from Persona 3. I'm trying to reconstruct it, but it's going very slowly because I don't know what I'm doing. And I think I built it too small, and I don't think there's going to be enough space for everything that I planned up there, because that building there is kind of interesting. I mean, it has, in the game, the lower floor is smaller than the upper floors are pretty big, and these are just some small random gardens that I put here. I like putting greenery every once in a while just to break the monotony of these large buildings. Next to it are these two buildings that I downloaded. So like I said, these are two buildings that I downloaded. I downloaded them. The hospital is not completely furnished, but it's almost done. I mean, what else is there to put? You just put a bunch of beds into these rooms, and that's about it. So some of these beds are put here. So I wanted to recreate those scenes from Evangelion when Shinji wakes up in a bed, looks up and sees an unfamiliar ceiling. And that's what I was going for with these rooms. I think I managed it, seeing how it's a very simple idea. And yeah, the rest of the hospital is just going to be a bunch of beds strewn together and maybe an OR or something. I'll think of that on the go. But the more important building is on the other end, which is the Grand Hotel, and that thing is enormous. It's like the size of half the city already, and when I downloaded it was much different looking. The outside was quite different. I had to add different colors make the pools look a bit different and everything. Add some more lighting, etc. The left part is completely unfinished, almost completely unfinished. I plan to add some amenities to the hotel, like a casino, more lounge bars, etc. I already added a restaurant and a bunch of rooms to the right side, which you'll see in a moment. So as you walk in, it's a very magnificent building. I don't know who built it. I forgot the name. I'll put it in the description. So as you go, once you go on the right, there's a stairwell towards the rooms, and this is the Anamandara, the restaurant. The entire restaurant was built by me. It used to be some buffet kitchen, which looked terrible, of course, and this is much more luxurious. The roof isn't finished. I forgot to put the roof, and this is going to be the kitchen. Actually, it's not going to be a kitchen. This is the kitchen right now, basically, but I'm going to transform it into like a gallery / conference room. This is the VIP area of the restaurant. Doesn't look very luxurious, but it is, upstairs and kind of divided from the rest of the restaurant, so the people who are richer can eat in peace, I guess. So yeah, I'm gonna add roof tiles up there. I don't know which color. That's why I hadn't done that yet. Haven't done that yet. And this is an indoor beach with 2 pools, in which you can swim and dive and do whatever. This is the beach bar, strength and Vale. This is the first pool, very small, very shallow. I mean, very shallow. They're all the same size. And this is the bigger pool, the deeper pool, in which you can actually dive bomb into and swim underwater with these fishes and look through the glass and just have a general idea of how the ground floor looks like. It is supposed to be this hotel itself is supposed to be for the extremely wealthy people, so they're not gonna have much knowledge of the ground floor of this city-state, so they're just gonna swim in that pool and not worry about the people underneath them. So yeah, as we climb up, you can see the lobby, and these are the hallways towards the rooms. The rooms were designed by the person who built the hotel. I didn't do much there besides put some lighting, put these terracotta floors and roofs, and I put the tiles on the ground instead of white wool, which looked terrible, and it gave off a very cheap vibe, which is definitely not the kind of vibe we're going with this hotel. And then we're going to the upper floor, which is the only one that is a bit different, because then instead of a roof, it has a glass. I mean, it has a roof, but it's made out of glass. And I had to put lighting on the ground. It still looks okay, maybe even better, but it presented a unique challenge of sorts. So yeah, that was the top floor, and now we're gonna move on to, as you can see, this is supposed to be a grand ballroom eventually. Once I finish it, there's no entrance there or anything, so this is the left side of the hotel, which is supposed to hold all those amenities I mentioned. It has one of the floors is gonna have a casino, the other one is gonna have maybe another restaurant, a bar, nightclub, who knows. But it definitely has to have an entrance for the grand ballroom, which is going to be like the most luxurious place to hold a wedding or a reception in this hotel. So we're gonna move on from here, and we're gonna go towards the rest of the city. Let's see what else is there. There's as you can see there, this is the closed off section of the city. In my mind, there were riots in this part of town, and military or police had to step in, and they went a little overboard, and they destroyed most of the city, with the inhabitants going somewhere else, so to say. And there's a few pockets of resistance. There's a few rooms that people can still live in. There's a whole complete house in one of these areas. I think it's the far right. There's a building here which has it's closed off. It has rooms and everything. It's normal, but most of these aren't. This brick building has one apartment on the top, which is fine, and then there's a few beds in one of those buildings. And this here is a very strong contrast between how close the rich and the poor live. So this is just some ultra modern mansion that I also downloaded. I don't know where from, I don't remember anymore, but I didn't build it. And as you can see there, it's in clear view of this poor part of town, and I may even connect this road to the island just to illustrate how close they are even further. And these two towers are like the kind of watchtowers to prevent those people from entering the main city. To the left we have the highway, and this is supposed to be an Asian temple once it's finished, but I don't know when that's gonna happen. So yeah, there's a bunch of projects. This here was, I had giant sea to sky limits version of the Chrysler building. I mean, I downloaded it from somewhere. It didn't really fit the overall look of the city, so I destroyed it. And we're gonna put some more buildings here just to fill the space, because there's plenty of space for other better buildings. And this here is the temple of what, I don't know, but it is a temple. And here we see this is the central pillar of sorts. And yeah, as you can see, I had black wool as floors before, but mobs would spawn in, and it didn't look, very good. So now I'm just gonna cover it all with glowstone and then just add black wool carpet over it. I don't know if there's much else to show you in this city, but there's a lot more to be done in the lower city. So once I've built enough buildings, I will post an update to this video. And for some other episodes, I'll show you what else I have. This world is pretty big. It has many other places, like the castle, the underground area, there's like movie sets. What else? There's a ton of stuff, but as of right now, this is what I came up with, and I think it's quite a bit. And we're gonna keep working on it until we have a bit more to show here, and until we like I said, once we have enough buildings built and enough construction done to warrant an update video, I will update you guys on how it's going. I hope sooner rather than later. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next episode. So long.